Divisions between countries have stalled negotiations on the world's first treaty to tackle plastic pollution after a tense week of talks in South Korea's Busan. Today we bring you some of the sticking points that led to a decision early on Monday to resume discussions at a later date after negotiators were unable to strike a deal. First is the production cuts. The 2022 resolution called for a treaty that would promote sustainable production and consumption of plastics. Dozens of nations want the deal to mandate a reduction of new plastic production, and there have been calls to phase out unnecessary items such as some single-use plastics. But others, led by some oil-producing states like Russia, Iran and Saudi Arabia, have pushed back against any binding reduction call. Second is the chemicals of concern. An alliance led by Rwanda and Norway pushing for specific measures on production is also seeking control on so-called chemicals of concern. These are components of plastic that are known for feared to be harmful to human health. Any agreement must contain clear, legally binding obligation to phase out the most harmful plastic products and chemicals of concerns in plastics. But some countries have rejected any push to phase out or restrict the chemicals, pointing to existing international agreements and national regulations on toxins. Third, of course, is finance. Implementing any treaty will cost money that developing countries say they simply do not have. An article on financing in the latest draft agreement released on Sunday was full of conflicting possible options, reflecting deep disagreement on who will pay what and how. And lastly, the question remains, will the treaty create overarching global rules that bind all nations to the same standards, or allow individual countries to set their own targets and goals? This has been another sticking point, with the European Union initially warning that a treaty in which each party would do only what they consider is necessary and is not something we are ready to support. On the other side are nations who argue that differing levels of capacity and economic growth make common standards unreasonable.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.